Good morning, everyone. Such a quiet day, or what?
Morning.
Good morning.
I'm gonna need more energy out of you guys today than I can give.
Makes two of us, brother.
So
You look like how I feel.
you're the third person today that says I look sick, so I must be sick. I don't know.
Oh no. I love you, but you look like hell.
Well, my head's clear, which is good. It's just the problem is my lungs are not.
Yeah, that's where mine went.
Well,
I
I have,
canceled my open house for tomorrow, unfortunately.
yeah, I'm at the Airbnb. We got a guest showing up in a couple hours, and it's not. We have to do the backyard because of a storm, so push through. We shall prevail. But I want to hear some wins. Let's start off with some goodness. Maybe if you send enough positive vibes, Jim and I will feel better.
Amen.
Got a listing appointment today.
Way to go, Miss Gracie. Listing appointment today. So that translates into I'm going to take a listing today. Right?
Yes.
Not a girl.
hmm
Love
I got
that.
a listing yesterday.
Way to go, Christina. Fantastic. Hmm.
With the downtime, I actually got a chance to come up with some guidelines for our security team at church.
Security team. So you guys are just like doing SWAT training for the church.
Tuck and roll, high speed,
I know,
low.
I'm like, tell me more.
What does that look like? What does the security team look like?
Grappling hooks and zip lines, all that good stuff.
Are there dogs? Are there security dogs?
That would be awesome. There should be.
I think every security force needs to have a dog.
I'll bring my big dumb lab.
They are quite deceptive. They can be vicious.
Not this one.
I've seen my dog destroy stuffed animals. Well, what else you guys got cooking around today? Let's hear you. I know there's more. So, well, it's Friday, the 4th of April. May the 4th be with you in 1 month. What is the most important thing we can talk about today? What happened yesterday of some pretty dire, oh no, actually today. It's happening today, a pretty dire consequence to the economy.
The tariffs.
The tariff war officially started. What's that going to do for real estate?
They made interest rates go down.
That's the hope.
We don't, we don't know yet, but it's heading in the right direction.
We don't know.
It's TBD.
That's the big thing. We don't know what's going to happen. We gotta play by ear. If we are sitting on the sideline waiting for the cues to get moving, you might be a little late to the game. But if you got buyers that are looking, just waiting for a change, this might be it. This might be it. Hey guys, I know the tariff war is coming. It's going to create a lot of uncertainty in the market. Uncertainty is your friend when it comes to buying a house. Why is that?
Everybody else goes on pause.
If 90% of the people step out of the game, it opens up a lot of potential for you. Investment firms stop buying when they're uncertain. Why is that? They don't want to lose money. They want to hedge against the risk.
So then how do we tackle this from the listing side?
On the listing side, we need to be aggressive in our pricing because if we've got listings out there and we've got uncertainty, we have to price around it. Are sellers out there still pricing, hopefully?
Mm-hmm.
Yes, very much so. There are sellers out there that are still, you know what, I want to squeeze every blood red cent I can out of this house.
There's agents that are allowing them to do it is the bigger problem.
Bigger problem. There are tons of conversations we should be having with buyers, with sellers. The uncertainty in the market's going to create conversations, just like it did during COVID, just like it did during the elections, just like it did when the interest rates went up. Every single time in the US economy, when there's been uncertainty, it's created an opportunity for you. You just got to harness it, have the conversations. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I know you guys were thinking about buying a house. What are your thoughts now? Well, we're scared because of the tariffs, blah, blah, blah. Okay, great. What if it actually plays in your favor? What do you mean? I never want to tell someone right out, oh, that'll never happen. Because you've created an enemy out of them. May not be a big adversary, but you've created an adversarial position. You've told them something against their belief system. And if there's one thing you know about our belief systems is we kind of hold them true. We keep them in our chest. We're like, nah, that's my belief, not yours. Fuck, kick rocks. But if we go, well, I get that. I could see why you would think that. Do you mind if I project a different opportunity? Would it offend you if I open up your mind to a different possibility? Would it benefit blank if we were to look at things differently? And then go to storyboard, right? During COVID, how much buyer resistance was there at first? The 6 of you that were here during COVID.
There was a lot.
It
It
was-
was at
there
the
was
very,
a
very,
lot.
very beginning.
There was a lot, and doomsday, can't show houses. How are we going to live? We buckled down, and
Yeah, it was like doing a slip and slide on 80 grit sandpaper.
and basically the answer was Zoom and mobile video and everything else. We had to adjust to it and overcome it, just like we do with everything else.
And then what happened to the buyer sentiment?
Oh, huge!
Holy shit, I need to
It's-
buy a house.
Yeah.
You know what? I'll pay you. I'll pay you double. Just let me have the house.
I'll pay you
Interest-
double. I'll waive
interest rates.
inspections. I'll waive appraisal.
I'll weigh
now
your job. I'll weigh your mom. I'll tell your mom she's fat. Let me have the house. People did crazy things, but it's the buyers that got in before the craziness, the ones that listened to their agents and said, this is an opportunity. I'm one of those buyers. I bought a house April 7th, 2020. And they're like, well, my lender told me, I don't know if I can get this deal to close because of blank Y. And I'm like, no, push it. Do what you can. Less than a year later, it's worth 100 grand more. I mean, I did put a ton of money into changing quite a bit of it. But even the neighbor's house that was dog ass ugly, never did anything, came up 100 grand in value. I had people asking me to buy the house I just bought. But I took action in the opportunity bubble. I'm not saying that the tariff wars are going to create a pandemic level frenzy around real estate. But what it's going to do is it's going to knock the people that are leaning on the fence a little further off of it. This is an action that's taking people out of the game, not pushing them into it. Every news outlet is talking about how this is going to be detrimental to the economy. This is going to be painful. Trump is tanking the economy. Okay, great. But when we look at things like, what can I do with this? How is this going to work for our goals? Where is the silver lining in this dark cloud? Do you think we can have better conversations with our buyers and sellers? So I want to hear from you. What are some of your thoughts? What are some of the things you can talk about that will create more confidence around what you do? Don't look at the market as a total. Look at what you can accomplish. Look at what you can affect.
Use that as an opportunity to check in with your sphere.
It's huge, right
I mean,
there.
we did that during COVID. Hey, thinking about you. Stuff's crazy. You need some toilet paper. How you doing?
Yeah, I got you. That's actually paper towel, but it's
I was
close,
gonna say, don't wipe your ass with a paper towel, bud.
closest thing I had. But this is a reason to call. A care call. Man, I just saw some pretty crazy stuff on the news and you came to mind. How's the family doing? How about a buyer you haven't talked to in a while? Ask them, what are your thoughts? I'd love to get your opinion. Mr. and Mrs. Buyer, I met you guys at an open house a couple weeks ago. You know, we haven't chatted much since then, but I'd love to get your fresh perspective on what's happening in the economy right now. What is that doing to your decision to buy a home?
I had a conversation with a prospective buyer yesterday. The same thing. He goes, I'm worried about my income fluctuating in the future due to the economy. I said, well, he goes, I'm looking for a place to buy or I'm looking for a place to rent. And I'm leaning more towards renting because, you know, I don't have 20% to put down. And I'm like, well, you don't need 20%, first of all, but you know, I kind of reframed it like it's easier for somebody to kick you out of a rented house than it is your own house. If that were to happen.
There's a lot of potential in the conversation. Right, uncertainty in the future. I get it. Like I had a seller that wanted to cancel yesterday. She's got a condo and she's been waiting on the market. She's overpriced. I told her she was overpriced, and we've been inching down the value. And I told her we would only do it for a certain, actually, her deadline was today, or we were going to drop the price. And she's like, I'm going to rent it. I'm just going to rent it for a year and then see what happens. Also, what happens in a year from now when the values continue to trickle downwards? Got her thinking. She's on my campaign of getting rid of anxious and crazy people because they don't make any kind of sound decision. It's not logic and it's not lifestyle. It's panic. And there are sometimes you're not going to be able to deal with panic. People are just going to make snap decisions. But the more we get ahead of them, the more we have conversations around them, the more we embrace them with the information of how this can benefit you, the better we're going to have in the long term. Sellers, let's talk there, right? There's some of us have listings. What's the conversation going to be with sellers? Same thing. Hey, I just saw the crazy news. I'd love to know your thoughts on all this tariff stuff. And how is it making you feel on selling your home? Well, we're worried that if it sits on the market too long, it's going to lose value. Okay, how can we get ahead of that? Am I laying down anything that's growing roots? Am I planting seeds that are getting your thoughts going? Because this is the stuff you need to be having conversations around. These are the objections you don't know are objections until you get landed out with, well, we're just not going to do anything right now. Why? Well, if you have the conversation up front, like we go back to the rapport conversation today, it's an open book. You find out their fears, you find out their misunderstandings about the market. You can have better conversations to help align them with their goals. When someone doesn't exactly know what they're doing, do they sometimes sabotage themselves? Yeah. Right. I want to rent out my house. You're going to lose money on it. Okay.
I do know people like that. If you put it on paper and present it visually, it, you know, lights a candle.
Yeah. Show, then tell. Not everyone is like us. So however you learn, not everyone learns like you. So do something different. Have the visual, the audible, the tactile, so they can hold it, they can look at it, they can crunkle it. It makes it real. Provide them third-party validation, right? Someone other than Jim and Mikey. What's third-party validation?
Let that be a tip for everybody. If you have your camera on, he won't call on you.
Guys, I drug myself out of a drug-induced coma to talk to you this morning. The least you can do is participate. And my wife got mad at me because I think I got her sick too.
Yeah, I've got one of those upstairs.
That's what happens. That's why I don't have children. They're just walking cesspools of diseases.
Yeah, I definitely agree. So What's a third-party validation?
Someone who's objective to the situation can give their more objective third-party view.
Okay. Like, what would you use as a third-party validation for a statement, Mara?
Economists say, I don't know.
It's perfect. I mean, just right there. What a third-party validation is I'm not telling you the information. Someone else is. I'm just sharing it.
It's an expert. I mean, it is an expert opinion, expert knowledge. It's, it confirms what you're trying to present to your client.
It creates significant trust in the statement because it's not coming from you. It's objective. It's black and white. It's either an article, an expert's testimony, or experience. Because you can even say stuff like, you know what? I have another client that's in a position just like you, and this is what they did.
I use that. I'm going to show some homes to a potential new buyer. Just came in from Denver today and gave him a lot of examples of what it's like to buy new construction from our last transaction.
It's not, oh, this is how it's going to be. This is what you're going to expect. This is what you want to do. Make it third party. Hey, we had another client just like you that bought a new build a couple days ago, a couple weeks ago, a couple months ago, whatever. This is what they did. Hey, I had a seller in the same position as you that was worried about selling their house and then deciding to rent. And they ultimately decided to sell it and they made themselves an additional $100,000 cash profit. Or if the opposite is true, I had a seller that was thinking about selling their house and it turns to find out renting it was a better option for them. So they rented it for 2 years and then called me back and had me sell it when the market was a little bit more favorable to them.
And the other thing that opened up the conversation was going to some of the new build websites and also getting some information from the representatives to show them that potentially he's in a position to own a home cheaper than rent at this time in the Sahuarita Vale area or Corona de Tucson area.
Crazy. You guys have heard me say this before. Be the source of the source. That's third-party validation. It's getting a third party to validate what you're saying or to introduce what you're saying. We can create a lot of momentum by the words and testimonials of others. Do you guys know what reviews are? Third-party validation. I'm so glad I listened to him. So glad that we dealt with her. She was amazing. She was a guide. She was fantastic, right? Other buyers are going to say, well, that's me. I need help. And now they can put themselves in that same mental place like, oh, I was looking to buy a house and I'm a military person and I reached out to this person and all of a sudden that happened. Third-party validation. Okay. Now, what are you going to do with this? I don't want to just have conversations in the morning. I want their action to be behind it.
Well, a quick example of that, Dan, you said you had a listing wanting to cancel. I had a buyer wanting to cancel yesterday because of the drop in the stock market. She called our lender, Steve Lemons, after talking to me. I didn't try to talk her out of it because she also got some bad medical news. And he talked her out of wanting to cancel. So if you want an amazing lender, use Steve Lemons.
Yeah, because he understands the stock market. People, listen to me when I tell you that you're going to come across panic decisions. Do we make good decisions when we panic? No. Most of us do not. I say most of us because some people, Christina, are well trained to handle tough situations and make decisions under fire. I don't see Anthony on here. Oh, Anthony's on here too. Anthony. So the military trains you how to make decisions under panic. If anyone else is military on the call and I don't know, I'm sorry. You should tell me these things. But we don't. We don't make decisions well under panic, and neither does the public. So take a second, take a beat, as I like to hear. Take a beat. Let's think about this. What's the upside? What's the downside? Am I okay with the downside? move forward.
Well, I think like you said too, Dan, with the third party validation, like both of my listings were not actually on the market yet. One of them, we've got another 2 weeks, and then the other one, we're actually not going live for a month almost. So it's just, I've got Market Watch set up for these guys. So we're looking at what's the competition doing? What are the days on market looking like as we're getting closer to yours? And do we need to pivot sooner? Just that, like, staying in touch, like reassuring them, letting them know that you're staying on top of it,
Yeah.
staying educated.
Buyers want options, sellers want facts. So if you know the options, you can provide the options, you're going to have better opportunities with buyers. If you know the facts, you can present the facts, you're going to have better conversations with sellers. Regardless of the economy, regardless of the economic state of the country or the world or whoever we piss off at that time, people still buy and sell houses.
Unless they're Canadian and you follow up with them and they go, I'm just not sure right now. And I go, cool, I'll follow up with you in 4 years.
Yeah, I had a client of mine that wants to move. I don't know if I told you guys this. I got a text message that says, we're just not sure if our legal rights are going to be upheld here. I'm all, well then. What was it? So here's the text. With the current administration, blank and I are a little bit worried that they may revoke our gay marriage. So we're considering relocating to Colorado. Again, panic decision. They didn't realize Colorado was still in the United States.
I was gonna say, like, sorry, but
The next couple days later, yeah, Blank and I decided that if the law favors on our side, we'd like to stay in Arizona.
Maybe,
We want a bigger house at the pool and casita on the north side. Okay.
maybe Hawaii.
But here's the thing again, panicked decisions. This is a smart kid. He's a very smart kid. Him and his husband are great people. I've known him a long time. But all of you heard that, right? With the current administration, they're going to revoke our gay marriage. So we're going to move to Colorado. What? It's like hating the restaurant and going to a different seat. Again, people don't make the best decisions under panic. So give them some time. Ask them some questions. Well, what makes you say that? Out of curiosity, where are you getting this information? Because then you can understand where they're coming from. And if you know where they're coming from, you can help guide them better where they're going.
Well, NBC said.
Well, that's actually a really good thing is right now I know where you're getting your information from. Well, I saw it on Fox News or I saw it on MSNBC. I saw it on Facebook. Okay, great. What else did you see? Well, I saw that the complete opposite was true, but I don't want to believe that. Okay, great. You guys remember a couple weeks ago when I was talking about a seller, I'm not getting in business with crazy this year. If someone wants to be like my great uncle George said X, Y, and Z, and he's on MySpace and he's a guru and he lives in a van down by the river, good. I'm not going to be your agent because it's going to be a nightmare. I can't guide if you don't listen. I really can't guide if I don't know where you're coming from. If someone says, I want to buy a house, great. Where are we starting from? Tell me what you know. Tell me what your thoughts are. Tell me what research you've done. Help me understand where you're coming from. Then I can provide some really great third-party references, some good validation that makes me look like the source of the source.
Or they'll qualify themselves as crazy.
Oh, it's fine. People get crazy. People do stupid shit.
It's like the WhatsApp leads. Yeah, I'm
those-
looking for a 3-bedroom, 2-bath house in Elk Grove. For my budget's 3.2 million. Whatever house you want. I only communicate on WhatsApp. Yeah, okay, bye.
yeah, how many would you like? So, guys and gals, listen to me when I tell you this. Uncertainty is your friend. Calamity is your friend. Chaos is your friend. Because if they're still listening to you, you still got a chance. This is your opportunity to get out there, let your voices be heard, or what's left of it, in my case. There is no chance to be successful if you don't have conversations. What do you got, Greg?
Dan, I'm just starting out in real estate. Yesterday I went out on my first open house, just shadowing.
Awesome.
But I was in the construction industry in home sales for like 30 years. And so help me on this one. So in the downturn of the market last time, when you have a customer that's selling their home and buying another home at the bottom or the top of the market, what's the difference? Because aren't you just transferring wealth from one area to the other? It doesn't really matter, does it?
No.
Yeah, I mean, if you're at the top of the market, you're selling your house for a boatload of money, but you're paying a boatload of money for the new house.
I like to do this, Greg. People are visual. When you sell in an up market and you buy in an up market, it's a wash.
Mm-hmm.
Sell in a down market, here's my hands. If you sell in a down market and you buy in a down market, it's a wash. The problem is when you sell and wait, or you wait, or you sell and or you wait and then sell. I like that. When you're up, when
So,
you're
so isn't it always
wash.
today is the best day to do it because of
When was the best time to buy real estate?
right now?
No, yesterday. When's the next best day?
Right now.
When was the best time to buy a house? 2018. When's the next best time? Today. Because
you can't get everything, right? You can't get the highest price for your house, buy the next one for the lowest, and get the best rate. It's just not available, right?
no, and timing the market is gambling. And there's a reason casinos are so big. They don't lose.
Because Anthony's there?
Yeah, actually. But here's the thing. If you're going to gamble, gamble. Have at it. Have fun. But if you want to make an informed decision based on facts, data, and trends, let's talk. Because if you're going to buy in this market and you're going to sell in this market, it's a wash. Well, Dan, I have a 3% interest rate. That's fantastic. Does the home still fit your needs? Well, no, it doesn't sound like the interest rate's the real issue here.
I heard that, and I win.
And you win. Sure you do.
We wouldn't have said it if we didn't want you to hear it.
Yeah, that's why he broke his leg. He said it was because of a fighting accident, but it was actually because he didn't pay his gambling bill. I don't.
Yeah.
But here's the real thing here, Greg. I love you brought it up. Create comparison. If you buy in this market, you sell in this market, it's a wash. Well, the interest rates are no longer around. But why are you selling or why are you buying in the first place, right? Go back to reasons. Logic never is the answer. It's lifestyle. Very few people said, well, you know what? I can make $150,000 on my house. I'm going to sell it. Where are you going to go next? Oh, we haven't thought that far out. We just want to sell our house and make a ton of money. Okay. That makes a lot of sense. You're dumb. Most of the people are like, you know what? We just got married or we just had a kid or our kid just went off to college or something. There's a lifestyle need backing it. So help them pair lifestyle. Don't help them pair logic. If you're buying in this market and you're selling in this market, it's a wash. But if you're doing something to improve the standard of your living, I don't believe there's a value you can put on that. Thank you guys for being a part of this. Sorry, I am not full voluptuous voice like I normally am. But my wife calls this my sexy morning voice.
I was going to say, I don't know. This one might be working better for you.
Good morning. How are you?
Do radio. You have a face for it.
I do. I really do. The voice for magazines. and a talent for the grave. All right, my friends, thank you for being part of my life. I hope you all have a fantastic day. Have a great weekend. My challenge for you this weekend, challenge over the weekend, is to have 5 tough conversations. Call the people that you're afraid to call. Call them back. Go do it.
I have a quick thing to
What
put
you
out
got?
there just for a reminder to everybody. Check out this YouTube clip. It basically talks about the importance of why to have an agent in this Michael Parsons. I know it's sports related, but it's a good reminder to us as agents of why it's important that we're there for our clients.
What's
So
better?
check out.
Time deal.
Hashtag sports ball.
Yep. So check out that YouTube video. It's queued up. It should be right there at the part of it. It's only like 14 seconds or something like that.
Yeah, check it out. Links in the chat. If you can't get it, text me. I'll just send it to you. Other than that, guys, I'll see you on Monday, bright and squirrely.